Everybody hates change management, and so do I. Why? Well, think about it. What are we doing in our corporate culture today when we're calling something change management? Does anyone like change? I mean, I don't. Do you? When I think of change, I think of the unknown. I think of losing control. I think of maybe having to do more work, making less money. I mean, when I hear the term change management, I don't think of anything positive. All I think of is something negative. You know, why do we call it change management? When you go to the store and you give the teller or the cashier, you know, a $50 bill, and she gives you change, you know, after you've bought something, are you happy that she gave you change? Well, yeah, I guess you're happy that she gave you change, but change is less than what you walked in there with. You are walking out of that store with less than $50. You know, you're coming out with the change from $50 and, you know, a soda or whatever you bought. But would you rather have the soda and the $50 or the soda and the change? I'd rather have the soda and the $50. So I think this whole change management thing is just a poorly labeled, you know, philosophy or strategy. And I also think along with that, you know, change is a terrible title. I hate it. And I also think that management is a terrible title. I mean, really, when you think of, you know, Chris, do you want to be managed? No, I don't want to be managed. You know, I don't think most people do want to be managed. So when we go, you know, whether you're an internal consultant, internal leader, manager, boss at your business or organization, and you go in and you tell your employees, you know, we're going to embark on some change management, or I'm bringing in this change management consultant. Do you think people are going to crack the champagne and get excited about that? You know, I don't think so. People are going to be apprehensive and they're going to be a little adversarial with this whole thing because they really don't know what it means. It's a whole lot of unknown and uncertainty, and who wants that? So, I mean, the premise is good. As a business owner, you want to, you know, change some things, which really means you want to improve some things, but it's being labeled incorrectly. So really, you're lost before you start. You know, you are trying to get your people behind something that, you know, they just can't get behind. You know, it's way easier to get behind something that looks good and is shiny and attractive than something that looks and smells not very attractive. You know, wouldn't you agree? So when we're hired by a business to come in and do some change management, we don't call it change management. We're not change management gurus. What we do is we lead improvement. And, you know, sure, a lot of it is semantics. I get that. I'm not disputing that at all. But semantics are a huge part of a life. I mean, people make their livelihood in marketing and sales, in politics, in many other arenas in life because they know how to control semantics. They know how to present things to make it attractive, to make it palatable, to make it interesting, to create buy-in. And when you call something change management at your business, you know, you're hitting them with the left and you're hitting them with the right, I think, is they're not going to like it very much. If you come in and say, you know, we're going to improve some things around here that are going to make, you know, your job easier, your job better, do more with less effort, make more money, those types of things, then you might get some buy-in. You know, as human beings, and this is where we really tackle it from when we come in and do leadership or improvement leadership in businesses, is that we really need to create buy-in from the start. And how do we do that? We do that by trying to satisfy the selfish feelings and emotions and needs we all have as human beings and answering the question, how does this affect me? Right? We all ask those questions when an organization is going through change. You want to know how it's going to affect you. And it's the same with almost everybody. So when we come in to do improvement, you know, in your business, to lead you through an improvement process, we're really getting out front of that and answering that question, answering any objections before they're ever verbalized. You know, they're almost always instantly internalized mentally or emotionally, but they don't usually get verbalized till there's some evidence that, hey, I should verbalize this. This isn't, you know, I can't get behind this. So we do that by really presenting evidence and a case for the staff, for the employees, why this is good, how it's going to benefit them, how it's going to work to their advantage, and all those things. And when we do that at the front, we really find the rest of it going through the process is so much easier, that it's so much harder for the staff to buck the improvements, because it's been well laid out that the improvements are good for, you know, good for the staff. And again, if you go in and say we want to change some things, we want to manage the change because it's going to be good for the organization. Let's be honest again, let's be frank, is that, yeah, people do care about the organization of the business because it's part of their livelihood and they need it to function and exist, you know, so they can keep their job and provide for themselves and their family. But they don't care about the business more than they care about themselves. They care about themselves and their future and their needs primarily, you know, almost across the board. So let's stop kidding ourselves about what we're all doing, and let's call things, name things in a way that are going to be beneficial and make things easier for everyone, for ownership, for leadership, management, and for the staff at large. So the next time someone, you know, asks you to do or tries to sell you some change management, run the other way, or tell them to come up with a better name, or whatever the case may be, because if you go in with change management, you're going to get nothing but all the kind of change you don't want. So again, tackle it this way. If you want to improve some things in your organization, call it improvement, call it making things better, making it easier, and forget the titles that industry has been giving this process for the last number of years, which again, I think is just extremely detrimental to the whole process. It makes it harder on everybody. So avoid it, go out there, lead some improvement, let me know how it goes. We'll see you next time.